For waking me up this morning, that's why I praise you. For starting me on my way, that's why I praise you. For letting me see the sunshine, that's why I praise you of a brand new day. Welcome back to your spiritual sports segment on Rima Gospel Radio. I'm CEEJAY. The National League stadiums had their back swinging in Interleague games as the Chicago White Sox lost to defending champion St. Louis Cardinals 5-3 as David Freese belted his 13th homer. The Cleveland Indians were literally spanked by the Cincinnati Reds 12-5 as Brandon Phillips lunges a home run and drove in 4 RBIs, while the Detroit Tigers defeated the lowly Chicago Cubs 5-3 as Austin Jackson belted a homer, and the Oakland A's befuddled the Colorado Rockies 8-2 with Josh Reddick's 15th homer of the season. The 112th U.S. Open teed off yesterday as Phil Mickelson stated Tiger Woods brings out his best golf, but apparently he was truly speaking past tense as Mickelson mucked it up yesterday with the 6 over par as he was paired with Tiger and Bubba Watson, who fared even worse than Lefty with an 8 over par. However, Tiger kept his growl and finished 1 under par and only 3 strokes back of the leader Michael Thompson as Thompson smells the scent of a tiger lurking in the greens. In addition, 14-year-old Andy Zhang of China struggled early but had a late charge to finish 9 over par, the same score as the world's #1 player, Luke Donald. In sporting news, LeGrange, the former Rutgers football player who was paralyzed after suffering a spinal cord injury during a game against Army in 2010, the young and determined fellow is having a stellar year. First, he was signed to a symbolic contract by the Tampa Bay Bucks in May as his former college coach is now the coach of the Bay Area Bucks, and secondly, it was announced yesterday that LeGrange has been selected to receive the Jimmy V. Perseverance Award at the ESPYs in July. Circuit Judge Mark LeBute has set an October 11th trial date for the 11 former members of Florida A&M's marching band in the hazing death of Robert Champion. All defendants except Sean Turner waived their appearance at the arrangement as Turner had not hired an attorney and was appointed a public defender. But Craig Brown, the attorney for defendant Aaron Golson, indicated there were too many witnesses, defendants, and information to sift through in order for the trial to start in October. For your second segment, quick news and notes, former lightweight titleist Brandon Rio suffered a right arm injury and has withdrawn from his July 7th HBO fight, manager Cameron Duncan said Thursday night. Starting today, Division I men's basketball coaches will be able to send unlimited texts and make unlimited calls to recruits who have wrapped up their sophomore year of high school, and they will also be allowed to send private messages to prospective players through social media sites such as Facebook and Twitter. After deciding to keep legendary coach Joe Paterno's will sealed, the family decided to release the will and put an end to any speculation, to dismiss a lawsuit filed against the university by its former president, Graham Spainer. Xavier and Cincinnati have agreed to change the setting for their annual game after a brawl that resulted in 8 players suspended last season, and the schools have chosen a downtown arena as a neutral site. Temple basketball player Khalif Wyatt has apologized to his family and team following his arrest on prostitution and resisting arrest charge in Atlantic City. And finally, the LA Kings celebrated their first Stanley Cup title in their 45-year history with the parade celebration fit for a king. Pun intended. For your quick NFL hits, Terrell Suggs spoke optimistically about returning to the Baltimore Ravens as soon as November after he tore his Achilles tendon, but the slow pace of his rehabilitation has made him change his tune, and he now realizes that he will almost certainly be sidelined longer than originally anticipated. The Houston Texans announced contract extensions Thursday for general manager Rick Smith and coach Gary Kubiak, rewarding them for taking the team to the playoffs last year for the first time. NFL players and U.S. soldiers have been meeting to discuss concussions, and they plan to get together frequently in the future. The St. Louis Rams and the St. Louis Convention and Visitors Commission are heading to arbitration over what to do of Edward Jones' Dome, as the two sides remained apart on plans to upgrade the dome. New York Jets defensive tackle Kendrick Ellis will report to Hampton, Virginia today to serve a 45-day jail sentence as part of a plea agreement to a misdemeanor charge of assault and battery. St. Louis Rams outside linebacker Rocky McIntosh, a starter for most of the 6 seasons with the Washington Redskins, have signed a free agent contract. The Houston Texans signed first-round pick Whitney Merciless out of Illinois to a 4-year deal on Thursday. And finally, the NFL will award $2.5 million in grants for new or refurbished football fields in 15 cities. I'm CJ. Be blessed and have a fabulous Friday.